I'm outside in my garden doing some much needed maintenance out here because I've been forgetting, procrastinating, and totally ignoring a lot of my responsibilities out here. So I asked myself, I wonder what other people's garden, if they have ADHD, what does it look like? Because after all, I've been using this garden as my therapy tool to kind of get myself together, and I've come a long way. So come with me as I show you my garden tour right now, but also when I first started this channel, what did my garden look like? Let me tell you a hint, a hot mess. What's going on, my plant peoples? I am the ADHD gardener, where I use gardening, houseplants, and humor as a much needed form of mental health therapy, sobriety, and learning how to navigate this crazy ass world using our garden with ADHD. And you know what? We can learn a lot about ourselves, and we can use our garden as a gardening tool to kind of just get ourselves a lot more organized, better planned, all these executive functions that ADHD people lack. Do you forget stuff? Do you forget your plants? Do you procrastinate on a bunch of your responsibilities out here? Do you neglect to do some watering, some fertilizing? Well, hey, it happens, but we can use our garden as a way of just getting a little bit better every year. And I'm going to show you what exactly it looked like from 2020. It was actually 2019 when I decided, you know what? I'm going to go online and throw myself out here on YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is that plants make me happy, and I'm just going to run with it. But as you can see, I had no idea what I was doing in that backyard. When I saw this video from this year, I teared up because I've come such a long way. Such a long way, and I'm so proud of what I've accomplished. And you know what? It wasn't me. It was God all the way. When I lost my nursing career, I lost my mind, and I lost my sense of self. I lost who I was. And it took a long time, a lot of therapy, a lot of reading on my own, and definitely a lot of going back to church to kind of figure out who I am again. And the more I learned, the more I figured out how to get myself a lot more organized. I'm always growing tomatoes because I do a lot of canning. Now this new area, I have not really worked the soil too much yet, but I have been growing all tomatoes this year. I have been trellising using the string method, which actually worked out pretty darn good. The only problem I have noticed is that if you do not use the right string that has enough strength to hold up some weighty ass tomatoes, then the string isn't going to work. Also, your stakes have to be super, super high, because if you are growing indeterminate tomatoes, which means the ones that keep on growing until the season dies, then you're going to run out of space when it comes to trellising options. But that actually did work out pretty good. And I finally figured out that blight issue that I've done multiple videos on. I will drop that playlist down on the bottom below. You can go check that out. I finally figured out the blight. I finally figured it out. So, oh my gosh, it took forever and a lot of seasons, but this is why we do not give up. Because if you fail one year, it is okay, because it is a learning experience. Now I know about the blight. I still have the blight, but it is super under control, and I'm very excited about that. The size of these tomatoes that I'm getting is ridiculous. I know it's a certain variety. It has to be. I'm definitely going to be saving seeds for those. It's nuts how I'm getting them. The rain gutter system itself, fantastic. My problem was the sun. Again, I always have sun issues. The first front boards of the rain gutter garden did fantastic because they're exposed to the sun. The problem was for me is that the back area of it, there wasn't enough sun. So whatever was growing in those back buckets was just very leggy, very stringy, and did not really produce anything. But then again, there was no sun, so I can't really blame myself. But this is the only space that I have for this. So I guess I need to know better planning for next year. Very shady type of produce in the back. I'm right here, right next to the rain gutter garden, and yes, there is a bunch of containers because I do container gardening. If there's not enough space on the ground, or if you have no space in general, containers is where it's at. I want to be able to also grow containers so I can show you how to grow in containers. It's relatively the same way, but I have a bunch of goodies this year. I tried my hands on some lavender. That actually worked out for the first time this year. And this first year also, I'm growing some peanuts. I also have some cuttings of some dogwoods because I'm getting into a lot of landscaping and flowers and stuff. So I have that going on. And also, just a bunch of other goodies. Also, I'm growing catnip for my cats because, cats gotta have fun too. So I got that growing. I'm gonna be doing a lot of different herb blends and dried herbs. So, hopefully to be selling in the future. So stay tuned for that different adventure. That's gonna be an interesting one. But right over here, On these two beds, as you can see here, it is tons of pumpkins and squashes and all that. It does not look the best because I did a lot of pruning, and that pruning kind of jacked everything up. It looks a hot mess right now, but just know that I wasn't pruning. Just saying, I was pruning. I do also recognize now, in hindsight, how much space these vining plants take up. They take up way too much space. So that means next year, God willing, I'm going to be coming up with a way to go up those vines. So stay tuned for that, because I have a few ideas on how to, vine up. But for now, I got some pumpkins, y'all. I'm so excited. I've pretty much figured out what plants and crops to go where in my garden, and also how to rotate, how to, make sure that I'm not growing the same crops in the same area for pest control reasons, but that's for another video. But for now, not so bad. I have learned a lot about the sun also. You have to follow the sun movement, because let me tell you, if you don't, you'll plant the corn in the wrong spot and only realizing that it just blocked off 2 rows of sun from my other crops. So that was not a good idea. We can call that poor planning. If it's one thing I had a hard time doing, is getting the hint when it comes to weeding. Okay, I've been at this for like 4 years, at least here in PA, and the weeds were driving me crazy. If it's one thing I learned, you know what? It's just not worth my frustration. So what I did was I got some landscape fabric and I just lined all of my walkways. And I mean all of them. It took a little bit of the roll, but you know what? It just saved me some peace of mind, because you know how much weeding I had to do, and that's not cool. I wanted my garden to look a lot more organized, and I knew that if I can suppress those damn weeds that were growing in between my garden beds using landscape fabric, then that's what I was gonna do by any means necessary. So that's what I did. I went around my entire garden and I just laid some landscape fabric down absolutely everywhere where I had a hard time just weeding. If you have you don't need landscape fabric. If you have cardboard, you can totally do that too. I started out with cardboard, just lining everything up, but I wanted it to look a little more organized, a little more professional looking, because I've been having a lot more people come to my house and look at my garden. So I wanted to look a little bit more, organized. I have had the most minimal weeding of this year, and it's been fantastic. So I would highly suggest landscape fabric for you. Welcome to the greatest section of my garden right now for this year is my pepper field. I call it a pepper field because this is 14 by 15 feet long and wide. This is a very large area of peppers. I'm growing all different varieties, and let me tell you, this new type of way that I'm really getting more organized has been working out, because the amount of peppers that I've gotten this year is nuts. It's nuts. I have all different varieties. I even have some spicy peppers. I have yet to harvest any spicy peppers because it's not time yet for it. Spicy peppers always take a lot more time to develop. But for the rest of them, dude, I got so many peppers this year. It was amazing. It was amazing. Great. I've been just giving them away. I've also just been storing them, making them. Oh my God, it's a butterfly. Oh my God. It's a freaking butterfly on my butterfly bush. Hold on. Oh my goodness. This is happening. This reminds me of that, The Office.
Oh my
God.
gosh,
Okay,
it's
it's beautiful.
happening. Everybody stay calm.
Oh my goodness. It is freaking beautiful. Oh, no. Come back. There you are. Oh, you're so pretty. I have a second greenhouse right back here. Now, I think I did a video on that, and it has to do with my chickens. And that's exactly what it's doing. I use that greenhouse solely for my chickens. It's basically what I need to use to make compost. So every time I get food scraps, or I have some extra plant, stuff from around here, it goes automatically in there, and that's where my chickens go, because I need some compost all the time. So I dedicated a greenhouse just for compost, just for my chickens, because I need them to go do me some work, my greenhouse, not looking so hot. I usually use my greenhouse a lot in the early spring and the late fall time. This is why it's looking kind of like a hot mess right now. I do have a lot of stuff in there, but I usually leave this space for the midsummer time for seed collection. This is the back of the garden where I really don't pay too much attention to it, which I probably should, because it is part of the garden, but it's so far in the back that I kind of neglect it. It's like no man's land. But either way, I am still growing some stuff this year. I was hesitant because of the vine squash borers that always attack me, but this year I have not lost a plant. I have not lost a plant to a vine squash borer. Thank you. Man, finally, it only took this long, but I have been growing wild back there. I have some large zucca gores that are growing wild. They're doing awesome. The only problem is, again, poor planning. I did not foresee the fact that they're going to take over and cover my elderberry bushes. I have elderberry bushes this time, and eventually I want to be able to, make my own medicine, elderberry syrup, but it's being hidden by the squash plants, the leaves. So that's probably something that I'm going to have to think about for the future. But for now, it's looking pretty darn awesome, and I cannot complain. Welcome to another section of No Man's Land, aka the garden that has been left behind. Totally. This area was the same spot that had the potato video with the indeterminate versus determinate. It actually worked out, the video worked out good. The thing is that there's potatoes still in the ground and I have yet to dig them up. Well, I'm gonna get Jose to dig them up for me, but I haven't gotten there yet. But not only that, I have a ton of tomatoes that have never been caged up. So I basically just let them grow wild and vine on the ground as it is. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you got some good information out of it. Let me know down in the comments below if you have ADHD or you're neurodivergent, or you know what, even if you are neurotypical. Hey, how organized are you? How organized are you? How well do you plan in your garden? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm really curious. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to smash that like button. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm on all of them. And also, I do live stream tomorrow at right here on YouTube, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be chilling in my garden, just talking to all you guys, gals, whatever. Doesn't really matter. And until the next episode, you guys, when you and me both are going to be growing our happiness one plant at a time, one day at a time. God bless you all. Until the next episode, peace and love.